Who is the best right winger in European football right now? That's a debate me and my mates have all the time. So I thought, let me make a video and see what people think. So far this season, I think it's a toss-up. There's so many players right now performing on the right-hand side, and this is a good debate to have. I want to hear what you guys have to think. So here's my top 5 right wingers in European football this season so far. Starting at number 5, the forgotten man at Real Madrid sometimes, Rodrigo. Rodrigo for me is the 5th best right winger in European football right now. In 11 games thus far this season, 3 goals, 2 assists. It's not that great in comparison to the other right wingers, but it's what he offers that does not make it on the stat sheet. A great dribbler, gets into great positions, and with Vinicius, Bellingham, Mbappe, so many eyes for the opponent to look at, Rodrigo can be the player that can step up for you, as he's shown in the past in their Champions League run. Number 4 for me is the Barcelona and Brazilian player Rafinha. Listen, Hansi Flick has some great wingers at Barcelona this season. Another one will probably come up in this list. I'm really happy to see how he's taken this season so far. Been a phenomenal player. Yes, there's been other good players, but I actually think he's been Barcelona's better player so far this season. 6 goals, 6 assists, 11 games. Listen, that's a great stat thus far when you're only in October. But the biggest thing for me is how he's stepped up this season despite not having the best of seasons historically for Barcelona. Of course, he's got other players to create opportunities for now, such as Lewandowski, etc. But I think he's been their best player going forward and will be a very important player depending on what they go on to do this season. Now, the top 3 for me, it could definitely be interchangeable. I want to hear what you guys think. I've been going around and around trying to decide who would make it to number 1, but the 3 that I have, I think, is the one that there is the biggest debate about now. Lamine Yamal, Bukayo Saka, and of course Mohamed Salah. Those are the 3 players that I think are the 3 best right wingers in European football right now. Where do they go in the list? Let's see. Number 3 for me is Lamine Yamal. His first real breakout season for Barcelona, coming off of the back of a Euros win for Spain, and he had a big part to play in that. Now, under Hansi Flick, the 17-year-old is really learning and developing and excelling his game. If this is what he is at 17, I cannot imagine what he'll be at the age of 21, 22 or 23 when he really starts to peak. 11 games, 5 goals, 5 assists, and some good opportunities created and some amazing goals scored. Even in the Champions League, he was Barcelona's best player so far this season during the early stages. Now, like I said, at the age of 17, the world is at his feet. He can go on to become one of the greatest footballers of this generation. I don't think we've seen a young talent like this since Kylian Mbappe at Monaco. And number 2 for me, Bukayo Saka. I had to put him at number 2, and like I said, the top 3 is completely interchangeable, but the Englishman has been doing it and has been doing it consistently for Arsenal. It's not just the technical ability he has, it's the physical aspect of his game that he continuously upgrades. It's the speed, it's his ability to defend and get back, and the ability to create something out of absolutely nothing. He's the guy that Arsenal can always rely on to create something, whether it's a goal or an assist. Bukayo Saka is there to do it. In comparison to the other right wingers, he might not be scoring so prolifically. Only got 3 goals thus far this season in all competitions, but 7 assists in 10 games. 10 goal involvement in 10 games. I would die for a Manchester United right winger to have that. And last but not least, I would say is actually probably one of the most disrespected players of this era of football, Mohamed Salah. 6 goals, 5 assists in 10 games thus far this season, and the guy that Liverpool can always count on. It doesn't matter who's playing in that front line. If Mohamed Salah is playing, then Liverpool can always count on him. And despite the fact he's approaching the end of his contract at Liverpool, he still gives it all. In front of goal, Mohamed Salah is so clinical, and you guys know that. Creating chances as well is something that he's improved on in this new role that he's playing under Arne Slot. When we talk about Mohamed Salah, I don't know why people speak about him as if he's only been in the Premier League for 2 or 3 seasons and he has not been doing this consistently. Since he's joined Liverpool, he's been a problem for every opponent. I know the biggest debate is about Mohamed Salah versus Eden Hazard, but when we're talking about right wingers in Europe, we need to respect Mohamed Salah and put him up there for one of the best right wingers in European football right now. Now, like I said, the top 3 is completely interchangeable, but Mohamed Salah holds the crown for that number 1 spot in my opinion. Let me know what you think of my list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Who do you think is the best right winger in European football right now? Now, Honorary mention for people like Michael Olise, who I think is having a good season so far with Bayern Munich. I didn't put Cole Palmer in this list because I don't think he's a right winger. I think he's a 10 in my opinion. But if I was to put Cole Palmer in the list, then obviously he would have made my top 5 as a right winger. But let me know your thoughts. If you agree, if you disagree, what would you change? Who is the best right winger in European football right now?